Johnson C. Smith University, founded in 1867, is a private, residential, liberal arts college, the only historically Black university in the city of Charlotte. As of fall 2024, we have 1,306 students here at JCSU.
We are in Biddle Hall, the signature building on the Johnson C. Smith campus in Charlotte, North Carolina. This is Mary Deborah Baird Biddle, who is my great-great-grandmother, and she seed funded Biddle Memorial Institute in honor of her husband, the portrait beside her, Henry Jonathan Biddle, who was killed in the Civil War. The radical notion was that the formerly enslaved, for whom it had been illegal to teach them to read and write, needed to learn to read and write.
I go to Mary Deborah Biddle. Her husband died. She was raising all her kids, 5 of them. And she said, I believe in and I support to provide access to educational opportunities for Black peoples in the South. We need to take a pause and to think about the magnitude of that decision. Someone who saw the need to work beyond race, across racial lines, and to be able to say, I will give what I can, and she did until the end of her life.
She obviously believed, to whom much is given, much is expected. This school has a fabulous history. The first Black president in 1891, well ahead of Howard and the competition, accepted women in the 1930s. Center of the civil rights movement in Charlotte in the 1960s. This school, I am so proud to be related to.
I'm passionate about historically Black colleges and universities for various reasons. In particular, I know where I'm from. I am from the segregated South. I am from a mother and a father who did not have educational opportunities presented to them. I am passionate about Johnson C. Smith because Johnson C. Smith University took a chance on me. I was a student from 1992 to 1996. I received a scholarship. Scholarship dollars are so important. Now I'm coming back as the 15th president of this university. It's a full circle moment. With lack of funding, with a lack of critical attention placed on historically Black colleges and universities across the country, unfortunately, there are some HBCUs that have not survived. The ones who have survived, we are still historically underfunded. We still have to prepare a critical mass of people to enter into the workforce and contribute to society without having adequate resources that many predominantly white institutions have. We survive because we believe that the success of our students, families, the local community, and the business community is contingent upon the success of this HBCU. And collectively, we will continue to ensure that we move beyond surviving into thriving.
In my household, I think the highest grade achieved was probably the 9th grade. In high school, I worked at a local grocery store and I had saved money. And I was able to get a matching grant for my last 2 years. So all those things combined allowed me to leave here without debt. And I recognize the importance of scholarship dollars to students. That's what I do. Work with individuals, corporations, foundations, and I pitch scholarship. There will be enough. Here you have a descendant of Mary Biddle, who's very passionate.
I come to Charlotte once a year. I bring cousins so we can come to campus, celebrate the gala in the spring. I write a letter, and we now have been able to scholarship 2 students, and I just found out that we are going to have more money to give away next year, so I'm very grateful. As the endowment grows, so does our ability to help a student fully matriculate at Johnson C. Smith.
I'm a 2020 high school graduate, and in COVID, it really took a turn on my family when it came to financial stuff. When I received the Biddle Endowment Scholarship, it really helped my family a lot when it came to paying for college.
When I was a senior in high school, I didn't see myself going to college because I didn't know where the money would come from. They offered an academic scholarship that covered only part of the tuition. The rest I had to pay out of pocket. This was a blessing. I didn't know how I was going to continue paying.
Nellie is now graduating summa cum laude.
Getting the Biddle Scholarship took a huge weight off my shoulders.
I had no idea that the Ivy Leagues have millions in their endowments for each student that walks across campus, and we are functioning here at Johnson C. Smith with about $40,000, $50,000 per student. The wealth disparity is huge. Of all the civil rights we're working for, education is the most fundamental. Finding this school and finding a namesake who was clearly of the same mindset has been very inspirational. We're raising money and we're raising awareness. Bigger companies, but you get to be your own boss.
You have your own freedom.
And creativity. Where I come from, the awareness is really important. I would hope that people that I'm asking to be generous to Johnson C. Smith would first become aware of the wealth disparity in the endowments between the Ivy Leagues and the HBCUs, and to realize that people like Nellie Marquez and Sanaa Hewitt need help to get through college, and that we can make a difference, that we can make a big difference.
Some students only need a little bit of help, enough to get them through the process so that they won't have a mountain of debt.
What's up, guys?
How do we keep these connections going? How do we heal from pain and trauma? I think of Deborah Marshall and her ongoing commitment to Johnson C. Smith University. That gives me motivation and courage because it tells me that we are in this work collectively, that when we have an idea, that idea needs to materialize across racial lines, and we need to lead that work. And as the 15th president of this institution, it just makes my presidency here even more meaningful.